Camera's there. There it is. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hi, this is Bill with Media Unlocked.
And this is Tristan with Media Unlocked.
And today we're here to talk about, well, something that I think is one of the greatest things that's come along since sliced bread. What is it?
The Profoto A1.
Can I ask you a quick question, though?
Absolutely.
Who decided that sliced bread was the greatest thing to ever come along? You're in college. You should know this stuff.
You did, Bill.
Oh. God, I'm an expert on everything. Just like David. Hi, David. He's running the camera, by the way.
What's up, guys?
We wanted to talk to you about the A1. Now, we've got a few other things about other than the A1 here on the table today, because really the A1 is part of a completely integrated system. And in order to really appreciate the A1, you've got to know the other parts of the system that you may or may not have access to. So we're going to kind of start off talking about the A1, but we're going to show you a little bit about the B1 and the B2 at the same time. This is the A1. I love this light. It's got one huge significant downfall that we'll talk about in a little bit, but simple enough, this is the A1. It looks just like a speed light, except that it's round instead of rectangular. Problem is, it's not a speed light. It is really a hybrid light. It's the world's first hybrid light. It exists somewhere between a speed light and a strobe. It's got some of the best features of both, some of the downsides of both too, but we'll talk about those as it goes on. Now, I want to show you what comes with the A1 when you buy it. When you get it in the box, you get a black card and a white card that fits right on top of it, which is really cool. By the way, why would you want a black card? Because this way you can use it to simulate natural light. It's really cool. It also comes with, and by the way, you're going to miss this. You're going to buy this product and you're going to say, where's my diffuser? It's hiding in this super secret treasure chest on the top of the bag. It comes with a dome diffuser and a wide angle lens. Notice something. Magnets. How cool is this? Everything fits onto the A1 with magnets. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. It also comes, of course, with a charger, a user's guide, which you really don't need because this thing they've thought of everything for you and they've got everything explained almost easily just to the eye, and a USB port so you can upgrade your firmware, which is the first thing you want to do when you get it, because they have changed the firmware on this several times since it has been started production. So this is the A1. It's very easy to use. It looks like a speed light, but it's really two things in one. It is this. This is called the Air Commander. Now, this is the heart of ProGray's system. The Air Commander goes into the hot shoe of your camera. Right now, they speak Nikon and they speak Canon. There is a unit coming out this spring that speaks Sony. I'm unaware of any plans right now to have one that comes out speaking either Olympus or Fuji. We can hope that they do that, but for the moment, it only works with Canon and Nikon. But the A1 has a commander built into it and a light. This is really two units, two different pieces of equipment put together in one unit. I can use this as a commander to take charge of the B2 unit or the B1, B1X combination. I can also use it as a speed light, full function speed light, on or off camera. If I use this commander, this off camera, this, and this, I have a fully integrated light system that is right here. Everything I need is right here. The battery pack, this is the battery for the B1. This is the battery for the A1. I don't need to carry any cables with me other than what you see right here. That is really a good thing. Now, we've taken this out for a couple of shoots on location. I've used it here in the studio, and just the cordless nature of this thing is amazing. So why is the A1 hybrid light? Why is this so cool? All of the other people that I've talked to about the A1, they focus on the light. They focus how even the Profoto lights are, and they are. They talk about how consistent the color of the Profoto lights are, and they are. You're getting a top-notch light when you get anything with Profoto's name on it. That's just the way it works. But I think there's something that's even more unique about the A1 especially, but the entire Profoto line, and that's the power delivery system. Profoto has completely revolutionized the way that lithium-ion batteries work and the way that they deliver that power. And they do it in such a way that they deliver a lighting control that is almost as good as if you plugged it into the wall. Now think about it for a minute. You're out on location, you're back deep in the woods, and you've got 250 full power exposures out of one battery. Basically, that's what you get here. You have a second battery, and the batteries are, like all lithium-ion batteries, expensive, but they're not as bad as you think they are. We'll talk a little bit about pricing, of course, in a little bit. Now, I have used this light at events as an on-camera flash, where I just take it, pop it on top of the camera, set everything to automatic, and just run around and take the same kind of snapshot pictures everybody takes because it's a cool event, okay? But I've also used it to shoot on location. I've worked at it with models, and I'm actually using it today to shoot water trips because it's really fast as well. Okay, so I want to take a minute and kind of go over the controls of the flash for you. Battery pack is right here. This is the whole battery, by the way. Right beside it, right here, you've got the autofocus assist laser. It's a class 1 laser. It's safe for human eyes. No worries there at all. You've got a switch, a hard switch here on the side that switches from manual to TTL, just a simple switch. You power the unit on with that. It comes in with another second feature where you have to rotate the dial to activate everything. The reason behind that is that it's so easy just to hit this button. It would power on and run down your battery. But by rotating the dial, it lessens that, oops, I did something I shouldn't have done kind of moments. So you have to do that as well. The screen is a big part of the commander here. You can see right now it's labeled 6.0, which is the last setting that I used. But the menu system is actually very, very easy. Unlike a lot of menu systems, there are only 2 screens right there. That's it. We're going to have a separate video on the menu system that you can click on and take a look at in a little bit, but we're not going to go through it right now. Menu system, again, very easy to understand. It's got a zoom ring so that you can tighten in or widen your light, okay? So that you can either hit the whole scene or just kind of narrow it in. I like the fact that it's got an audio signal when you hit the end of it. So you've got this on your camera, for example. You rotate it all the way around, and you've got a zoom signal that says you're maxed, okay? Now, this has a TTL mode as well as a manual setting. The TTL mode, by the way, the Air Commander allows you to have a full 3-stop power control when it's functioning as TTL. When it functions as manual, you've got the entire 9-stop that the light has powered. One thing you should know, that if you take this up to 10 right here, that's full power. Go down to 9, that's half power. Go down to 8, quarter power, and so on, all the way down until you get to 2.0, which is the lowest setting on this particular light. Manual, of course, you can just dial it up, and it never changes. TTL, you can photograph with this. TTL, that sets your light. Then, the best way to use the light, shift it to manual. By shifting it to manual, the settings don't change. So if there's a minor change in the light, you don't have to worry about it. And it also allows you then to dial up or down to fine-tune your exposure, which is something I really like. I love using this in TTL mode to start and then fine-tune it in manual. In fact, if you combine TTL and manual, there's another trick that Tristan learned from our local Profoto rep. Tell us about it, Tristan.
Yeah, so our Profoto rep taught me this trick where when you set up your camera, you turn on your camera, and you can either use the A1 on camera or off camera for this trick. Obviously, if you want to use off camera, you'll need a commander, but the rule still applies. You take your ambient exposure without the flash on, okay? You get your exposure, you grab your image, you know whatever settings you want for that image. Then you will take your camera and you'll go up to your subject and turn on the A1 and turn on TTL mode. You'll have to turn off autofocus, and you'll want to get your subject's skin to cover majority of your frame. And then you're going to take a picture, and what that does is the A1 has read the information that it needs to expose for the skin so that the skin will be properly exposed. Then you flip the A1 into manual mode. It'll save the exposure setting that it had saved or that it had for the skin. Then you go back to your original shooting position, you frame up, and you take the picture. with the previous camera settings and then the TTL saved exposure setting, and then you get this wonderfully exposed image of your ambient background and your subject with the skin properly exposed.
Perfect lighting on the skin.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do that too. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it takes all the guesswork out of it.
Right, and again, you save that setting and you can go up or down a little bit as you see needed once you take your step back and get back into your shooting position.
Like I said, you can use this on camera or off camera. The foot includes a 1/4-20 screw thread so that you can set it on any light stand. Now, one of the really cool things, and the reason this is a hybrid light, is that it exists somewhere between a standard speed light and a studio strobe. Now, most speed lights run estimated between 30 and 60 watt seconds when they shoot, somewhere in that ballpark, okay? Doesn't matter whether you're dealing with a high-end speed light or a low-end speed light, you get 30 to 60 watt seconds as a general rule. Part of the problem that I have with speed lights is they're powered with 4 billion AA batteries. How many of us have run out of batteries on a shoot because we didn't have another 4 after we've already used 8, 16, 20 in our shoot? You just don't get an awful lot of life out of the batteries in the AA's. And the recycle time of a traditional speed light as your batteries age gets longer and longer and longer. And I can think of a wedding one time where I was sitting there going, okay, smile pretty, waiting for the pilot light on my speed light to pop back on because the recycle time was getting so slow. The recycle time on the A1 when it's got completely fresh charge is 0.6 seconds. When it's on its almost dead level, it's 1.2 seconds. Think about that, Tristan, a 1.2 second recycle time when the battery is almost dead. On top of that, it charges from dead empty to full in a little less than an hour. Now that is really cool. If you purchase the second battery pack for this, you could have your first dead pack charging in the wall, and it would be done with a complete recharge before your first one or your second battery is done. That's a really cool feature. And I checked the price at B&H. B&H retails a second battery for about $100. So it's not that expensive. Like lithium ions, they're all expensive, but it's not as bad as you might think. Now, one of the huge downsides to the Profoto system, and really the only huge downside that I have, is the price. Profoto gear is expensive. Guys, if you are buying Profoto, you're buying a Mercedes. You're not buying a Honda. You're not buying a Chevy. You're buying a Mercedes. You're buying an Audi. You're buying something that is very expensive. If you were to buy, for example, this B1X right here, you're going to get it if you go through B&H, and Kristen, we hope they do go through B&H,
Yeah.
of course. But this B1X is about $2,100 for this right here. It comes with a battery, it comes with a power cord, a recharge port, and it comes with the light head that you see, and that's it. If you get a standard B1, it's about $1,850. I would really recommend the B1X if you're going to go that route, because the B1X has a much better battery response than the B1. If you go with a B2, the to-go kit, which comes with one B2 head, this right here, one cable, and one battery pack, that, unfortunately, is $2,000. $2,000 just for that right there. The location kit, which comes with a second head, makes it $2,800. You get a second head and another cable for that. The cable alone is $200. Wow. Everything Profoto is expensive. The A1, not an exception. It's going to lay you back a cool $1,000. The student discount is only $850. It's a very, very, very expensive light. But it's a Mercedes, guys. Now, you can ask yourself if it's worth it. Is a Mercedes worth its price? It is, if you want the luxury, the quality, the dependability, and the reputation of a Mercedes. Profoto is the same way. Everything Profoto is expensive, and that's just a real downside to the Profoto system. But it is 100% totally and completely reliable. It delivers the same light, the same color light, every single click of your shutter. Pure and simple. I've had systems from Buff, I've had systems from everybody else, and they're all good. I've used Godox's, they're all good. They will all give you good light. But I've never had a system as reliable as a Profoto. And I got to admit, I'm a Profoto guy. As you can tell, I have the full Profoto line here that I use for my shoots all the time.
All right, y'all, check out our new video here. And if you'd like to look at some of these products, check out our B&H link. We do get a commission, so that helps us make these videos. And also, if you hung around this long, why don't you subscribe to us and look at more of our content? It'd be really cool.
And he's cute. Gives you a good chance to look at it. Look at that face. That face is so cute.